This is a project I've been working on for a while. I've done several videos on this project, but this is a new one. I want to show kind of how Flexbox, Flex Basis, and Flex Grow can help with page layouts. I did another video where you could do, I showed how you could do a Flex Grow to do mouse overs, which is a good use for that. But I'm going to take a look at this one. So this is the Stat Tracker project, and as you can see, I've got kind of three boxes here, and we'll make this look a little bit prettier here in a minute. But the idea is that as you stretch it out, and that's kind of the point of Flexbox, is just as you stretch it out, as you increase or decrease the screen size, it'll adjust to fit. But there's kind of a problem here. As you can see, it looks okay in the column view, but then when we go to kind of the desktop view, it's not really organized in a way that makes a lot of sense. We'd like it to have this column and then this column and then this column next to it, but it pushes this red column down below the other two. It's not really a great layout. Obviously, when they're all in one column on kind of a mobile view, it's okay, but on the desktop view, it doesn't really make a lot of sense like this. So there's several different ways that we could look at handling that, and I've kind of messed around with a few of those options here already. One way is you could set a fixed pixel width to each of these boxes. So let's go ahead and do that. And if you'll notice, the orange box has more content than the other two. So we'd want it to be a little bit wider. So we've set the other two for a fixed pixel width of 250 pixels, and then the orange box at 375. And if we do that, that gets us a little bit closer. But the problem is it looks okay here in the desktop view, but then it kind of does a little something funny where they're not really aligned right in this view, and then it just doesn't look good and clean. We'd like for this column to really take up that entire bottom section. That would look a lot better. But the way it is, it's just kind of there floating in the middle and the bottom. Doesn't really look like a great layout. But setting the fixed pixel width gets us a little bit closer. So let's get rid of that. And instead, let's do a percentage. And we can guesstimate that the orange, or the yellow and the red box take up about 20% of the screen. So we'll set the orange box to take up the remaining 60. Let's see what that looks like. That's almost worse, because then you've got, and we could maybe make the orange box take up a little bit less, like maybe 50. See what that does. Even then, it's not really great. It looks okay here, but then the red box is still floating down in the middle below there. The transition isn't really great, and then here, you've got the orange one that still takes up a lot more space than the other two, so they don't really flex very well. That doesn't really help our layout as good. It's not very flexible. So here's the solution that works best. Let's get rid of these here. And let's go to the top. Let's see, there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the flex basis of all of them to 0. And then we're going to set the flex grow of the yellow and red box to 1. And then we're going to set the flex grow of the orange box to 2, and that's all we're going to do. The great thing about that is what it's going to do is it's going to set them all with the same flex basis, but then if there's any extra space on the screen, it's going to make the orange box take up twice as much space as the other two boxes. So as you can see, that's almost perfect. They stay in a column row until that's not possible. And then the red one takes up the entire bottom of our screen so that layout still stays very grid-like. And then when they're all in a column, all three take up the same amount of space. Now let's take off those ugly colors so we can see a little bit better what that's going to really look like. Let's see. That looks a little bit better. And as you can see with our stat tracker here, they stay in the row, and then as the space changes and there's extra space, they adjust almost perfectly. So Flex Grow and Flex Basis is a great way to make these very fluid layouts easily. Instead of trying to figure out percentages and pixel widths, Flex takes care of all the heavy lifting to make your layouts fluid, flexible, and responsive.